2020. The year most people, including myself, thought was going to be the best year ever, which turned out to be the worst year of many of our lives. The world has been through crises recently, but none have been as severe and as devastating as this one. Due to the virus, governments have shut down borders, put in place restrictions like quarantines and tests, and closed places like museums, restaurants, and other places, which are the reason why we travel. With restrictions changing constantly, my travels were put on hold, and probably your travels were as well. Specifically, my trips to downtown Chicago, my day trips, which I take every summer since I live in the suburbs and can easily get to downtown Chicago, and my day trips to Milwaukee were canceled. Indiana Dunes National Park was canceled. Galena, Illinois, and Dubuque, Iowa were canceled, and more importantly, my big trip to the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg was canceled. Due to all of these changing restrictions, it's hard to know when to travel because it could get canceled at any moment. So, it was not a great year for any of us. However, 2021 seems to be a better year and hopefully will be with the vaccine. Hi, I'm Michael with the channel Michael Traveling the World. I changed it from Traveling the World to be unique and for better algorithm odds. So today, I'll go through what to expect for 2021 for my channel and for travel. Remember that these are my thoughts and you may disagree, and this is still a developing story. I will give you updates to reopenings of country, states, and provinces, or any international territory or border. If something major happens with the vaccine, I will update you on that as well in my YouTube shorts. So let's get into it. So notice I want to give to all of you about my channel, and all of my videos that you have seen this year were filmed before COVID or on travels before COVID. The video that was filmed before COVID was the Danube River Cruise video. That was filmed before COVID last year, and all the other videos were based on trips I took before COVID, and my favorite travel YouTuber video was a video I could do in spite of COVID. Anyway, so that didn't require travel, so don't worry, I did not get the virus. So, when I am writing the script, which is at the end of December 2020, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines have been rolling out in Europe and the United States. So this will be the new weapon against the coronavirus, and a much more effective weapon than lockdowns and masking up. So this is hope for a brighter future. However, there is a warning. So the CDC, I'm just speaking for America since most of my viewers are from the United States, because I checked my analytics, so most of the viewers are from the United States. Anyway, so the vaccine is going to go out in stages. Right now, it's going out to the first responders, the medical professionals, the doctors, all these people. And then right now, it just started going to nursing homes, and then it's going to go to people over 75. Then it's going to go to people over 65, and the people over 75 also have the people over 75 and people with the pre-existing conditions. And then it will just go down, go down, go down, go down by age group, and then some groups will be given special privileges, like teachers, so that schools can reopen, for example. So it will go. So just don't expect to get it quick. For example, in the United States, 20 million vaccines. Since Pfizer was approved in about the beginning, middle-ish of December, and then the Moderna vaccine approved last week, since like the week of December, the end of December, like December 18th, 19th, 20th, somewhere around there was when the Moderna vaccine got approved in the United States. And we expect it to get 20 million doses by the end of the year. We only got 2 million doses. So the projections are kind of wrong because it's a mass mobilization effort. You can't. You have to vaccinate a ton of people, and they sometimes can't logistically do it very quickly. So, no, the projections can be helpful, but are not the end-all rule for determining when you travel, since the projections can be wrong. So that means I would only recommend. That means the most recommended thing I would say to do for next year is to travel domestically, since countries may require vaccinations. So that might be a problem because you might not have the vaccine because you're in some group, and states cannot check you once on the border because um, they only all the state rules like the Chicago's do not travel list or recommended do not travel list or 14-day quarantine list, all those things are not enforceable. It's impossible to enforce because because Illinois cannot put up border guards on the Indiana border and say, okay, we're checking everyone as they come in. No, it's just not honesty, even if it is essential. Unless you're flying on a plane, then they actually check you, because that they can monitor. They can't monitor traffic. So, and the same goes for for countries that have divisions, in Canada they have provinces, and in Europe the Schengen zone, same thing. So I would say travel domestically or to a place where you don't have to cross like an actual physical border control. And I would recommend you travel in the car because airlines can put restrictions on vaccinations. However, and it is way easier to get the virus on a plane since you are crowded and it's hard to social distance. In a car, it's just you. So that's what I would recommend. And here come my tips. Okay, so I mentioned that domestic travel is probably going to be what you're probably going to be doing next year because we don't know when countries will open up, and since it's easier to cross invisible borders than actual borders, that is why it's easier to do domestic travel. And if you do decide to go internationally, I cannot tell you what not to do. You should go to countries that have good healthcare systems, so if you have problems, you can easily get treated. Anyway, so each country's and each place's situation is different, so don't expect the trip to be guaranteed. Plan it, but make sure you buy the flexible plane ticket or the flexible hotel room or the flexible anything, so that would be better. I would also recommend you visit the countryside rather than cities. Why? Because the cities are more densely populated and have more ways to spread COVID-19 versus the countryside has less chance of spreading COVID-19. I'm not just talking about I'm not just talking about forests and stuff like that. I'm talking about like villages could be fine, small towns could be fine. National parks are amazing for that. So I would recommend the countryside. I'm not stopping you if you want to go to cities. Just know that you're at higher risk. So just pick and choose. So I will have a list of places you could visit down below in the description. Cool areas of countryside or small town right by those cities. So let's get into the technical stuff when you travel, like the airplane and the hotel room and sightseeing. So when you're going to be traveling, you're going to be taking airplanes, staying in hotel rooms, and sightseeing. Otherwise, why are you traveling in the first place, and how will you do it? So, I'm going to go through the list of essentials and tips I will recommend. Okay, essentials. Masks. I don't care if you want to or don't want to wear masks. It is irrelevant. If you don't want to wear a mask in a state that doesn't have that has a mask mandate, good luck. If you don't want to wear a mask in a company that you agree to their terms of service by being in that restaurant or being in whatever location it is and not wear masks, you're not following the rules. You must wear masks, otherwise you'll get kicked out. Number 2, wipes. wipes, because you gotta wipe everything down. You don't know how well the restaurant cleaned the table. You don't know how well the hotel cleaned the remote to the TV. You don't know how well the airline cleaned the tray table, the dirtiest part of the plane, your tray table. So you should take it in your own hands, then you know how much you cleaned it. Hand sanitizer. Gotta keep those hands clean so that you don't spread any diseases and don't touch your face. Taxi and rideshare apps like Uber, because I wouldn't recommend you take public transport because you're going to be exposed to way more people than one driver. Then I would say get your hotel and airline apps, because some hotels because most hotels have like the big chains have eliminated the card system, so that you can check in and open your room and go in there with your phone to reduce contamination. So get that. Otherwise it's not that useful. And you can check in beforehand, so you can just go to your room. And for the airlines, you could do the same thing. Check in, not have to wait in line. It will save time and prevent contamination, since you don't have to wait in the check-in line smushed. Then I would say, like I alluded to with wipes and masks, you should clean everything you don't know, and also look at the cleaning procedures of the airline or restaurant that you're gonna go to, because you don't know what they did, and you are not enough. So next, use if you try using takeout whenever possible, unless you have the vaccine or are at lower risk, I would recommend using takeout if you can, so that you can avoid going to restaurants. For sightseeing, I would say don't go to smaller museums, or what's left of smaller museums. Look up what smaller museums survived this economic downturn. I don't know, some places aren't updated. You should really do your research on that and try to go into smaller museums, because they are struggling, and you will help them fund the bills so that they don't collapse. So, and if you're hiking in the national parks, put a mask on, at least when you're close to other people. But just look at the rules. The National Park Service says you must wear a mask on the trails, especially when you're approaching other people. Also, make sure that if you are going to be talking to a customer service representative or anyone checking in, if you didn't follow my advice for some reason, but even if you don't follow my advice, I would recommend you have one person do all the checking in, so that only one person is at the highest risk, the rest are at lower risk. And for flying, I would say, yeah, clean everything. Please, please don't use the tray table, or clean it extremely well. Then I would say, arrive at the airport early, because security, even though it has less people, will be taking long, because the security has to be cleaning the bins before you get on. So just have patience. That's the key, because all this cleaning is making everything take longer. So there you go. This will be how we travel, and coming up is my channel update and what you should expect for my channel next. Anyway, so what should you expect? Probably in the beginning of the year, not much, if any, videos other than short updates, because number one, my passport. I need my passport. I'm renewing it right now, and the earliest they say they will get it is early March, which means I can't check into a hotel or fly anywhere, since I don't have a real ID. Next, I can't really go to Indiana Dunes or Milwaukee, well, for the reason that it is cold and it will be miserable walking around and sightseeing. Then with Galena, Illinois, and Dubuque, Iowa, the problem is the vaccine won't be widely available, and since Illinois has very strict lockdowns, much stricter than most states, it probably will take a while for them to open up. Chicago, which is the most densely populated part of Illinois, so that's definitely going to be opened up last. And since they control the entire state, the governor will probably not open up Galena, Illinois, either. So which means there's not a chance. I will go there in the beginning, and plus they might require vaccinations to go to hotels, which will be a problem for me since I'm in the lowest group of risk, which means I will get the vaccine last. So when when I get my passport and everything, I might visit them in the summer. So that's something to consider, and maybe I will take a flight to like Miami or something like that. Maybe not, probably not, but who knows, anything could happen. But hopefully by 2022 we'll be back to traveling as normal. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, click the thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. And Happy New Year, fellow travelers. Bye.